Hi, my name is Mikey, and welcome to the first episode of My Key Takeaways. Yay! Okay, so prepare to step into the shoes of our guests and make sure you have your journal with you as you take notes of your key takeaways. Okay, so it took me a while to finally say yes to this podcast. And should there be anything that really influenced me to go for it, it's really because I've been wanting to archive, my favorite stories to tell and the lessons that I've learned from those experiences. And in relation to that, I think the best people to do it with, to start with, are really the people that I share most of my favorite stories with. So presenting the best people, are my co-founders and at the same time our creative director, Myka, Tessa, Coro.
Hello.
And our chief of operations, Angelica Kilaiko.
Hello, everyone.
There are so many topics that I wanted to talk about in this podcast, but just because we've recently stepped into the Burr month, which in the Filipino culture,
Jose Marie Chan is waving.
yes, is celebrated as the start of the merrymaking, the gift giving, and I think this one in itself resonates to us a lot as well. Just because we started the company September 1 of 2020. And so it was only recently that we celebrated our third year anniversary. And so I thought I wanted to take this opportunity to also debrief about our experiences for the past year, about our growth, and the exciting things that we're looking forward to on our fourth year. Are you ready?
No.
But
kailangan. But we have to be ready.
We're never ready anyway. People might have heard our stories in press releases, interviews, and in social media. But I also wanted to take this opportunity to listen how you guys, what from your lenses, what your story is for being part of sowenscale. Okay? So for the first question, just to give, just to slowly give context, what do you, if you were asked about sowenscale, how would you usually respond on what it is and how it was founded and why sowenscale?
Yeah, a play of words of sow and scale. Since we wanted to start helping the brands, especially to the small businesses, because we started during the pandemic.
That's right. Sowenscale came from the words or the values that we wanted to live by, which is sow and scale, in which we say that in everything that we will do, we're going to be willing to do the work, to do the hard work, the smart work. And at the same time, whatever it is that we wanted to do, it's really designed to scale.
Yeah. And that's the end goal.
That's the end goal. Okay. And how was it founded? Would you like to, dig deeper onto how we transitioned or how we decided to come up with the brand or the company?
Yun lang yung picture ko. We were both in the stoplight or the traffic light. Now we were thinking about just the name randomly. Yeah. Spontaneously.
Oh, right. I think very fast because we were in survival mode.
Correct.
So all of it happened so fast.
I think even in a week's span.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was during the pandemic that obviously a lot of us were affected. And we felt that, if we're not going to work, just because of what have happened, our tendencies would be to look for other jobs. Yeah, but we decided that, we were able to establish, working together, and so might as well just build our own company wherein we can use our own strengths. So yung sinasabi ni Angel kanina na sa stoplight, there's no eureka to it at all. Like, we were really just driving, ano pa ipapangalan natin? Okay,
Knowing
sow and scale. Sow and scale. Ganun siya, guys. So, I think one of the things that made us really attach or deep-rooted to the brand is because we have a lot of hustling stories, And I wanted to know more about...
Inhale, exhale ako.
And I wanted to know more about what are these hustling stories that you really take pride in when we were starting. Yung mga visions or visuals ninyo of us really like, working hard, hustling.
Just kailangan pa ng tissue. Maybe I need tissue here for this question.
Sige, go.
Siguro, on my end, I was, how many years? Wala pa ako naka 1 year in our previous company, and I just started with creatives part. Yon. So, if you didn't know, I came from a medical course or background.
Agree.
And when I started working, it was never creative related or not in a creative industry. So it was teaching, it was life insurance. Yun. So very far. And people will tell me that I'm creative, but I never really like saw it na parang I will do this as a career. So yun, everything was so fast. So if we define hustle, it's like very you have to put the grind. Magadoy.
So you did like the self-thought
Yeah,
in everything.
everything. So go or learn as you go. And learn. So that was a struggle because there were clients and you have to please the clients. You have to like make quality output. So I was not sure yet if I was doing like quality outputs. Ganun. So wala pang validation. So that was a struggle for me.
How about you?
Hustle. Hustle to me is parang walang tulog. I have a lot of
Joking about na walang
I have a lot of stories of no sleep gang. Parang ganon. Probably because I don't know if it's innate in me to like do things out of my comfort zone or give your best. Even it means like extending hours of work. Because ano ba? Parang tuming kasi
guys.
Oo, sobrang dami. So, probably because my really my principle is to really provide quality work. So, probably that's my story of hustling or hustle or pride.
Yeah, okay. Related to that, so was there any specific experience that you feel like you almost quit just because it's so difficult or just because, it requires you to really like go beyond your limit? And eventually, siguro also tell us why you didn't quit.
Ano ba? I can handle yes, I can handle pressure. I can handle sleepless nights. But if it's like continuously, if ganyan yung nangyayari, always, let's say in a week or in a month, no? And you feel like parang mali. Parang mali lahat. Parang walang tama. Parang wala akong tamang nagawa. Parang it makes me, question myself. Am I still doing the right thing here? Am I still in the right path? So that's I think my episode of saying na parang magkukwit na ako.
I remember like specific scenarios wherein we actually said yes to an account, but we don't know the service at all. Like just because the opportunity was given to us, and again, we're all in survival mode. We took the project and we Googled everything. We tried to learn everything. And just because obviously we're coming from scratch, I think we had a lot of circumstances wherein we or me as like the one leading the team, I feel like I've put on like a lot of pressure to everybody to really meet those expectations and to really deliver. Yeah, but if there's anything that you would consider the reason as to why you're gonna quit, it's just because like if the pressure is very consistent, like yun nga, napapatanong na siya, bakit parang lahat ng ginagawa ko ay mali. So yeah, I can remember those episodes. And how about you?
For me, I have a different siguro story. Iba yung hugot ko. Kasi I'm a mom. I have a son. And second coming.
Maybe.
Ayun. So, everything that I do, I have to do it for my family. So, mga arguments in my head about quitting has to do mainly because of my family. If it will affect them, like financially, mentally, like if it will tire me more, yon, those are my arguments sa mind ko. If your driver is your passion, iba talaga yung motivation mo. So, quitting is far down. Down. Yeah.
Yeah.
If passion exceeds it more.
Yeah. Listening to the answers, I just realized that at one point, I felt like my leadership also grew just because they're both coming from like different phases in their life. Yeah. So like her, the priority is the family. And with her, she's really trying to build her career. And if you may notice, those that they have mentioned as like the reasons as to why they're going to quit, I feel like those are really amplified at those phases of your lives. Like, I would even say that those are your priorities. Eventually, that if you feel like you have no value anymore, you would quit. And if you feel like it would sacrifice your family, you would quit. But overall, why didn't you quit?
I think we had a workshop parang to say what's your goal, ganon, or what's concerning you. Parang I asked the speaker at that time, what if unclear yung path mo? Na parang it's questionable if you don't know where you're going to. So parang yung answer to the question is what made me stay is because I think na-clarify or na-define kung saan talaga papunta yung hard work ko or saan papunta yung pinaghirapan natin. Parang ganun.
Okay. So you feel like there was a point in your life wherein you wanted clarity on whether your efforts, your hard work is actually leading to like something. Okay. Sige. Okay, now that's more of like the past, no? And I think the very reason as to why we're here is because we actually took pride from all of those hustles. And we're also proud at one point, no? Full of gratitude to be able to say that somehow the sowing that have happened in the past, now we're actually reaping that. No? Okay.
Harvesting.
Yes. So I kind of wanted to get from you what are the specific manifestations of na nasabi nyo, or you were able to say that you were able to reap the fruits of your labor.
I'm the type of worker na parang hindi ko to mabibigay. I can't give or turn over or pass on this job because all I think is ako na yung the best person to know this job, and I cannot turn over or pass this on to the next person because there's no trust pa at that time. Pero siguro na-reap ko na yung fruits of my labor or yung sowings phase. Yeah.
Okay.
When merong trusted leadership na or when I'm able to turn over or pass on what I do to the other person, train the person. Yun, when they are able to do the job that I'm doing already. So, passing on.
I think I want to give emphasis to that because I mean that's the same for me to Angel. So I think and I think it's worth like emphasizing because oftentimes like in organizations or in businesses, people will think na, oy, parang wala ka nang ginagawa or you don't have anything to do anymore. Why are like the rest of the people are doing the job and you're not working anymore? I think it's actually like a metric or a manifestation of trust in leadership, growth, and sustainability for leaders to be able to build more leaders and be able to delegate their tasks. And not only delegate, but trust that the person that you delegated it to can perform or can meet what is expected from that person. And in fact, I think we're really taking pride on that, and we really celebrate it whenever there are new members who are stepping up, and are actually like very accountable on the task that was given to now.
A very good example is yung anniversary natin yesterday.
Yes.
So kudos to the
yeah, I think even that, I know it's more of like just an internal activity in the office, but I personally didn't feel the planning at all. I was surprised, and not only did they implement it, just for the sake of, they did it like with details and with the objective to really, what the anniversary is really meant for. So they did it really good.
Siguro on the creatives part, then I would say kasi parang tangible output yung deliver, right? You get to see what you've done. So siguro because me, I want validation. I don't know if I'm doing something good or not without people telling me, that's good. I like this one. Mga ganun. So hearing from clients, from the people, from the team that this is good, this is okay, this is right, and then seeing actual outputs or my actual works, I really see na parang I reaped what I harvested or sowed. Yeah.
Okay. So it's funny because when you were saying that, related to what we just mentioned about like delegation, I think another thing that we're reaping right now is the level of trust is there's, alam mo yung, I don't have to get involved in certain processes because I trust her that she can make the judgment call for it. So we're so efficient that, say for example, when it comes to strategy, and sometimes outline lang siya, no? And then I get to pass it to Myka, and then she would like do the creative side of it. There's hardly me checking on, this does not work. Parang we were able to build that connection that allow us to work efficiently. And I think it's deep-rooted to many things. I think just because that you've never seen my direction as something that violates your creativity, you are really free to say that this is how you would want to interpret it, and this is the best way to do it. I think that's one factor as well. And when it comes to the implementation, say for example with Angelica, which is in the operations, I think somehow factor to it as well is because we were really thorough about the training as well. I'm proud even just for the email templates. Like the look of the email, the sound of the email, I feel like, wow, this is such a manifestation of how good the training was, that you just look at it and like there's warmth and comfort from an email. That's how I feel. Like
Template. And then your rookie tells you na ito yung dapat gawin, ma'am. Ito yung tinuro mo.
yes. So we take pride on how we were able to pass on the leadership. In relation to that, what work culture are you most proud of? I know we talked a lot about it, and I personally think that we have enough proof or testimonies that although we're not perfect as an organization, at the end of the day, a lot of our employees find support or find growth and that willingness to always contribute for being part of the organization. So what could be this culture that you are most proud of?
To me, it's transparency. Pero not 100% transparency. Parang balanced transparency perhaps. As much as possible, you tell your co-workers the constructive feedback that they need. But at the same time, the consent from them that it's okay to tell it. Yun. And it's not only it's not targeting the personal aspect of it, but
That's
objectively, no.
For me, parang personality ko na I doubt or like I'm scared. I'm scared to work with companies kasi I'm afraid of the people that I get to work with. Baka, I won't fit in, I won't, or they would judge me, they won't like me, yun. So may mga
Issues.
low self-esteem. Gano'n. So big sa akin, like in a company, the people, it's really the people, like how they, the personality. So I'm kinda lucky. Maybe that's one factor why I keep or like I don't decide to quit. Mga ganon. The people, because you can't find those kind of environment.
Yes.
So lucky ka na if you get to find one or you fit.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, that's
I agree with that. And I think even with me, I feel like the very privilege that I have right now is because we are able to create our own culture.
yeah.
There are a lot, I believe, of policies and work environment or culture that I don't think is relevant in this new generation of workforce. But as for me, if there's anything that I'm proud of, it's really promoting the idea that we don't have to deal with each other on a personal level, but really be after your contribution. So say, for example, if there's things to improve within the system or within your colleagues, those are the things that we wanted, as Angel mentioned earlier, balance, transparency. And even perhaps the themes that we've been mentioning in the past years, like ulikin, like look after your colleagues, because at one point, there will be a time in your life where you would want your colleague to back you up, when you try to attend to your personal needs, for example. And even the blame game, diba? Where it's a no-no, the gossiping, it's a no-no. Just because I feel like at one point in our life, we will also miss our best self in the process. Magkakamali din tayo. Yeah. And it's not something na we promote just because it adds to the bad energy that will affect the overall performance of the company. Parang ganun. And at the end of the day, if you have a bad day with the client, if you have a bad day at work or whatever that is, I feel like it's really comforting to be with the people that, that can support you. And whatever it is that come to us, basically, parang we don't know what the future holds, but at least I know people are backing me up to that effect.
Just trivia, no? The company. Well, our company has this group chat na parang even our CEO is there. Wow! And just we randomly share anything. Just about the day, about your day, personal life, jokes, memes, any, just to like alleviate the feeling of stress.
That's one of the things that we're so proud of as well. Because I was actually asked, like, how come like the boss is in the group chat? And I would even ask them, guys, do you have a group chat that does not involve me? Like, I just wanted to talk and I'm not there. Actually, yes. That's never. Yes, they do have. But that's because
Yung sa birthday
na-connect na ng birthday gift. Just for full context, we really started out in doing the groundwork. But now, part of the growth is we're now in the management committee. So we're mostly, we're going back to the building more leaders in the company to be able to duplicate our work. What is it that you consider your most favorite in your current positions?
When I was in high school, wow, or in college, parang I'm all over the place. Or you can say, na jack of all trades, master of none. So if to those listening, na they're like that as well, na you don't know what's your niche, what's your specialty, parang here, what I'm currently in right now, validated na what yung favorite part ko din of the job is managing the process, the people, the system, the environment. So yeah, and as a person that mahilig organize things in the office, literally.
That's nice.
Yeah, so
Asking me to wash my own dishes as a fun.
Okay, next.
As I said before, na I didn't have experience in anything creative. So, siguro learning a lot of things and discovering that those skills, and it's my favorite part. Yun. That's why I keep doing what I do. Passion again. Yun. So, I learn a lot and then I find joy in creating, ganon, basically.
When I was asked about the same question like a year ago, my answer was the very process of ideating and like doing all the work until it comes to fruition. And listening to your answers, I think that is what's common about it is we actually like the process.
Yeah.
And we also have this mindset that in the process, we know that it's not going to be easy, but we actually like solving problems. And we also find joy in finally finding those solutions to those problems. Which at this point right now, I think is one of the, I think it's a soft skill that are highly emphasized that this generation needs to have if they wanted to survive the workforce. Okay, there's two ways to look at it. At this point, I feel like in this generation, you will thrive if you have many skills. Like you can be, in fact, it's an asset if you're a jack of all trades. Yeah. But I think that's the thing about startups. Like they would often say that start as you as a generalist. And then once you get better at things, you try to specialize. No? And I think other than that, it's also the fact that when we started, we are so definite about the contribution of each other, which is very important. And people would say that, okay, when you start something, you really have to find your tribe, you know, and really find the right people to do it with. But we already mentioned about the skill set, right? But I think this is me to segue that it's not all. I mean, you can get the person who has graduated from this university, who has this experience and skill set, but a lot of it as well is the alignment in values. Can I just mention?
Okay, go.
Say, for example, I feel like Myka has a lot of potential. Okay? Me, I'm naturally ambitious. Like, you know, I always feel like I can achieve certain things. And then she would, like, think, paano ba? That it's impossible. Yeah, I can be idealistic and you can be a realist. You can be realistic, very realistic. And that in itself, and that in itself, I think complements us just because we get to pull each other. That's so true. Even in crisis management, you're the, ano nga tawag mo? You're the bad cop. You're the bad cop. The devil's advocate. Yes. Which to me humbles me down as well. You know, in
And I'm just someone being silent just here.
Actually, one thing that I've noticed with Angel, you're emotionless. She's
Emotionless?
I mean, when she tried to contribute to the conversation, she's very objective.
Yeah.
Objectivist.
Oh my God, guys. But yeah, that's I think one thing. Yon. Okay. And I wanted to transition more on like, you know, the future looking naman. Okay. So we've talked about our past, our present right now, and I wanted to talk about like the exciting plans that we're looking forward to.
Are you excited?
Are you excited?
I'm scared.
Scared. Okay. I wanted to go back to that question. We're in assuming you can be whoever you want to be. Okay. It could be in terms of career or like generally how you visualize yourself. How does that vision look like, or who will you be?
It would seem like a joke to everybody, pero may deeper meaning naman, but not as the like superficial declaration of it. They know. So my answer would be trophy wife. Yun, but not like the being pasagod sa husband, having a rich husband. Yun. Parang literal na your husband or your family would be proud of you, like show you off. Yun, parang power mom, ganun, power wife.
I think what I am right now is what I envision.
Wow.
So I've reached my goal. Yun, going back to like, because yung skill ko is into managing people, but this time in a bigger scale of the company. And there was a time when I mentioned that yung specific picture of me is getting inside the office, going to the office, bringing my coffee, and just attending meetings. Whoa!
I think that's common. I think that's normal. Like growing up, I also feel like, you know, alam mo yung parang nagbabahay-bahayan ka. But this time, like in a career setup, no, parang you're the lady boss, you get things done, di ba? And then you look beautiful even if you're stressed, parang to that effect. I kind of agree that it can be a dream in itself. Girl boss. Okay.
But the part of it lang yung making decisions pala yung, wait lang.
Yeah, until you realize that comes with the vision is a responsibility.
Yeah, bigger decisions to make.
Bigger decisions to make. Okay. I think it's worth mentioning that we often ask that question, and it's always part of the annual anniversary celebration to realign our personal goals with the goals of the company. Again, I think that's the most beautiful part of having your own or building your own company, because you get to like create your own metrics as to how you would want your company to be considered like successful, right? And before I, talk more about it, one thing that I wanted to ask is, as of now, do you actually see yourself achieving your personal goals, the one that you guys have mentioned, in the process of contributing to the goal of the company?
Yes. To me, yes.
Yeah.
Because parang there's something in me that I wanted to, yun, the one I mentioned a while ago, na I'm a jack of all trades, and I wanted to like achieve na this is a profession na that's applicable to that kind of personality or skill, no? And ano pa ba? And something to be proud of because of the hard work.
I also remember that we keep on mentioning about the principle that we're no longer after like the work-life balance concept, but rather we're into like the work-life integration, like taking pride that you get to really juggle, or have that harmony that you can actually pursue the things that you love and still live the life that you want, at least for that phase of your life. And I think that's also the exciting part for this generation, because the creative industries can be really fun. And we wanted to be part of, creating something that eventually impacts. And it's not the traditional career that probably our predecessors have experienced, like, having to be doing the hard labor, practical careers. Not that it's less important, but it's just that we have more options right now to pursue something that we actually like. Lucky sila. This generation right now. So yeah. How about you? Do you think you can be a trophy housewife in the process of you contributing to the goal of the company?
Of course. So, and how would I be if not for my the growth that I gain sa career? Yun.
The very example would be when Myka would drop her kid to school early in the morning, and then she would go to the office. She's the first person in the office.
I'm the early bird.
Just because the class starts early. And then, before lunch, she would pick up the son, and the son, she would bring to the office. And
Trophy wife now.
the fact that you can actually wear your hats simultaneously. But at the same time, it's also exciting for me, who's doing like the strategy, the vision casting for the company, because I'm too sensitive to their needs just because it is also my needs. And like, if I were to answer the question, like, what is it that I really wanted to achieve? It really is the freedom of time, of place, and obviously financial freedom. And I think the only way for me to get that is to really build a business that gives value to our chosen stakeholders. And to be able to do that sustainably, I have to build more people, or I have to build more leaders to manage basically the company. It's funny because I don't think they're non-existent. I mean, they're right in front of our faces. That, say for example, we know for a fact that our values in the company is we have to be first sustainable, or sustainability. Number 2, we wanted to grow our expertise. Number 3, we wanted to be able to maintain our relevance, wanted to be innovative just because we wanted to keep that relevance to our stakeholders. And we also value our ability to scale, which will reflect eventually if we're profitable, like exponential growth. And last 2 points probably were about passion and impact. Yes. So we're looking at, okay, how are we gonna have that balanced win of life of the company? Me as the leader, how would I be able to provide that for everybody? And in that process, or if I get to achieve that, I feel like I'm also gonna achieve my goal, my personal goal of having the freedom of time, place, and money. So the exciting things that we're looking forward to are really going for businesses. So the company, sowenscale, we weren't really able to mention now, but it's a business development services company wherein we handle local and international brands, really help them grow, find their brand identity, and really allow them to reach exponential growth and to really scale. And right now, one of the exciting things that we're really looking forward to is moving forward, building our own brands, basing on the expertise that we have built. What do you now is the most important element in building and growing a business?
Parang peace, process, people. Paano ko i-align sa P yung money, pen? Pera. Yeah,
I think,
but more importantly, process, people.
I really believe in the people. They're the real foundation or part of framework of the company.
I think overall, it's really like the growth mindset and the grit. The growth mindset, you were talking about like the process. And as process people as we are, there has been a lot of like revisions. And if you don't have the growth mindset, I think you would respond to it like negatively. Nah, everybody's just adjusted and then suddenly you have to change again. But then you would say that, no, it's okay, everybody's going to adjust nonetheless because they know that it was meant for improving the efficiency of everyone, the effectivity of everyone. And then the second one would be the grit. Just because I think also in consideration of, the new generation of workforce, grit reflects in your ability to thrive despite having all of those challenges. But should there be anything that we wanted to emphasize when it comes to challenges, I think there really is no challenge that is so difficult if you have people to do problem solving with. Can I also say that although we're, glorifying this phase of our life or this relationship at this point, I would also say that we should respect the fact that at one point in your life, our priorities would change. And you might want to go for a different direction. Like if you wanted to be a full-time mom, for example. If say, for example, there's another, opportunity that maybe you are seeing yourself in the company, but nonetheless, this opportunity is like way too different, right? In the context of like challenges or difficult times, when do you know it's time to quit?
I think it all goes back on my end sa sinabi ko kanina na if I don't bring value already.
I think just because we have the vision to really grow and to impact more and to reach our personal goals through the company, I think our value to the company will never run out. Yeah, but that's a nice way to put it, that maybe if you're not adding value anymore, whether in terms of like, the task or output, but at the same time in leadership. Diba? I think that's a good reference as to when you're supposed to quit as well. I think it's also worth mentioning that when we were doing the strategic plan and when we were presenting the plans for 2024, the last part was like a TME assessment wherein do we have the time? Do we have the money? Do we have the effort? Okay. We don't have the time, but we will find one. We don't have the money, but we will find one. Effort? We have a track record. The track record have, yes. And if there's anything that probably would like summarize everything, just because we've been in a situation wherein we had nothing and we were able to create something out of it and to sow and eventually reap, I feel like, our definition of success, this is our definition of success. It can be contagious. It can be always our reference that we can do it again. And maybe we can do it better. So to tell you honestly, we have those directions, but of course, who knows, right? And I was even telling the rest of the team that the mode that we're in right now, we're on trusting mode. Because at the end of the day, our comfort also lies that our intentions are pure. We're willing to work hard anyway. And I don't think that I said this in one of my key takeaways as well, that there is enough goodness for everybody.
Yes.
Abundance mindset.
Parang relevant dito yung mantra ko for 2024.
What's your theme?
Aim high with pure intentions.
Yes. All right. So I think that's a wrap for today. And because I cannot memorize my CBB, my exit spiel, I'm just going to read this. So thank you so much for joining me today. It really helped with the nerves. Happy man ka mo?
Yes.
Okay. So comment down below what are your key takeaways from our guests. And if you enjoyed today's podcast, feel free to click subscribe, follow, share, and see you on our next episode. Bye!
Bye.
So, I didn't feel this. Wala.
Picture. Ano na.